Welcome to the Bookworm Duo, where we explore a variety of books so you can find your next read. Let's get started. Today we're diving deep into...
Ooh, Cue the Sun, the invention of reality TV.
Yes, Cue the Sun, the Invention of Reality TV by Emily Nussbaum.
Nice!
You might think.
Right away, you think.
Yeah, you think this book is all about Survivor and the Kardashians?
Well, of course.
But Nussbaum takes us way back.
Way back.
To the surprising
Yeah.
and sometimes unsettling origins of reality TV.
It's fascinating how this book unearths these early precursors to what we now consider reality TV.
Oh, yeah.
You wouldn't believe it, but the roots can be traced back to radio shows from the 1930s where human misery was a form of entertainment.
Wait, human misery?
Yeah.
What kind of shows were these?
So imagine a show called A.L. Alexander's Goodwill Court,
Okay.
which aired live disputes, kind of like a proto-People's Court, except with real-life consequences.
Wow.
Back then, critics were horrified, accusing the show of exploiting people's pain for profit.
That's wild.
Yeah.
It's interesting how even back then the line between entertainment and exploitation was already being blurred.
Absolutely. And Nussbaum cleverly draws a parallel to modern-day podcasts.
Oh, interesting.
Particularly those that delve into true crime or personal trauma.
Right.
It makes you think about where we draw the line today and why we're still drawn to these kinds of stories.
Yeah, okay. So from radio courtroom traumas,
Yeah.
where do we go next in this reality TV timeline?
Nussbaum takes us to the 1950s with Queen for a Day, where women shared their sob stories and competed for prizes like washing machines or even medical treatments.
Wow.
It's a fascinating example of how reality TV often taps into our deepest desires and anxieties. In this case, the post-war anxieties about domesticity and consumerism.
So it's not just about watching people's lives, it's about tapping into those shared emotions and experiences.
Exactly. And Queen for a Day perfectly embodies the conflicting impulses at the heart of reality TV. On the one hand, it appealed to the audience's empathy and desire to help. But on the other hand, it turned real-life struggles into a spectacle packaging, suffering as entertainment.
It sounds like a recipe for disaster.
But
But I guess it worked right.
oh, it was a huge hit. But what's even more interesting is that the show's producer later confessed to calling it
Really?
the worst program in TV
Oh,
history,
gosh.
admitting that the more extravagant the prizes, the higher the ratings.
So even back then, they knew they were exploiting these women's stories for profit. That's pretty cynical.
It definitely reveals the commercial interest behind the facade of wanting to help.
Yeah.
But moving on, the book then shifts gears to Candid Camera, a show that pioneered the hidden camera prank format.
Ah, Candid Camera, the granddaddy of all those prank shows we see today.
Exactly. Nussbaum dives into the mind of Candid Camera's creator, Alan Funt,
Okay.
a complex figure who is fascinated by capturing people's unguarded reactions. He saw himself as a student of human nature, but his methods definitely raise questions about the ethics of entertainment.
I guess back then, people weren't as concerned with privacy and consent.
Right.
But was Candid Camera all about making fun to unsuspecting people?
Well, that's where Funt's key innovation comes in,
Yeah.
the reveal.
Um,
He started letting people know they were on camera, transforming the prank into a shared joke, and inviting viewers to laugh with the participants, not at them.
That's actually a pretty clever way to change the tone and create a sense of complicity with the audience.
It was a subtle but crucial shift that really helped shape the future of prank shows. But the book doesn't stop there. It takes us to the world of Chuck Barris,
Okay.
the flamboyant creator of game shows like The Dating Game and The Newlywed Game.
Now, Chuck Barris was a character. Didn't he also claim to be a CIA assassin?
That's right. Barris was a master of what you might call trash TV,
Right.
embracing smirky sex jokes and controversial content that reflected the changing social and sexual mores of the 1960s and 1970s. He was all about pushing boundaries and sparking debate, picking up where Funt left off and challenging societal norms.
So from misery radio to prank shows to game shows, reality TV was already becoming quite diverse. What comes next in this evolution?
Nussbaum then introduces us to a groundbreaking show that truly changed the game, An American Family,
Oh.
a 1973 documentary series that followed the daily life of the Loud family.
Oh, wow.
This show essentially invented the concept of the reality star and sparked a huge debate about the ethics of documentary filmmaking.
I can see why that would be controversial.
Yeah.
Suddenly you have cameras capturing real people's lives, their intimate moments, their struggles.
Yeah.
Was it exploitative Or was it a genuine attempt to portray real life?
That's the big question, isn't it? An American Family offered a raw and unfiltered look at family life, capturing everything from mundane moments to deeply personal struggles.
Right.
The Louds themselves struggled with the intrusion of the cameras, and the filmmakers faced ethical dilemmas, especially when filming sensitive events like the parents' separation.
So they were really putting their lives out there for the world to see.
Mm.
Did the public embrace it, or was there backlash?
The reaction was mixed, to say the least.
Oh, really?
Some praised the show's honesty, while others accused the filmmakers of exploitation.
Wow.
It's a debate that still rages on today. How much access are we entitled to, and what are the ethical boundaries when it comes to documenting real lives for entertainment?
It's interesting how this one show really set the stage for so many of the ethical questions that continue to plague reality TV today. But the story doesn't end there, right? Where does Nussbaum take us from here?
From the raw, unfiltered world of An American Family, we move into the 1980s.
Okay.
A decade marked by a return to more conservative, family-friendly programming.
Right.
But this shift created a void,
Okay.
a hunger for something raw, unscripted, and real.
So even though the networks were pushing wholesome content, the audience still craved something a little more edgy.
Exactly. And that's where we see the rise of what Nussbaum calls voyeuristic reality.
Whoa.
With shows like Cops, which followed police officers on patrol, and America's Funniest Home Videos, showcasing viewer-submitted clips of funny and often cringe-worthy moments.
Cops and America's Funniest Home Videos. Two shows that couldn't be more different, yet both tapped into this desire for a glimpse into other people's lives.
And they both reflect a growing fascination with surveillance and a blurring of the lines between public and private life.
Right.
They offered a window into the lives of others, often in their most vulnerable or unguarded moments.
It seems like reality TV was really starting to find its footing, experimenting with different formats and pushing the boundaries of what was acceptable to show on television.
And then, of course, came MTV's The Real World,
Okay.
a show that revolutionized reality TV by documenting the lives of young strangers living together.
The Real World, the show that made us all want to live in a cool loft with a bunch of strangers.
It was a cultural phenomenon that captured the spirit of Gen X, tapping into their desire for authenticity and their rejection of traditional sitcom tropes. It was raw, it was real, and it felt groundbreaking at the time.
But didn't The Real World also start to blur the lines between reality and manipulation? Weren't the producers getting more involved in creating drama?
That's a great point. The Real World also introduced a new level of producing manipulation, raising those ethical questions again about how real these real lives actually were.
I remember reading about how the producers of The Real World, San Francisco, planted a nude photo book of one cast member to stir up drama.
Yeah.
That's pretty messed up.
It is, and it's a reminder that even in a show that claims to be about real life, there's often a lot of fabrication and manipulation going on behind the scenes. Nussbaum really dives into this aspect, showing how producers often exploit vulnerabilities for the sake of entertainment.
So we're starting to see the darker side of reality TV emerge, this willingness to push boundaries and manipulate situations for the sake of ratings. Where does the book go from here?
Well, from the drama of The Real World, we move into the world of dating shows in The Bachelor and Joe Millionaire. Shows that capitalized on the public's fascination with romance competition and, of course, drama.
The dating shows. These are the shows that really seem to cement reality TV as a mainstream phenomenon. What were some of the key insights Nussbaum offers about these shows?
Well, she points out how these shows perfected the formula for creating addictive reality TV.
Right.
Blending romance competition and manufactured drama into a highly potent cocktail.
But those shows weren't without their critics. There were a lot of questions about the authenticity of the relationships and the psychological toll these shows took on the participants.
Absolutely. And Nussbaum doesn't shy away from discussing the darker side of these shows, highlighting the manipulation, the heartbreak, and the ethical gray areas that are inherent in this kind of reality TV.
So we're seeing a shift in reality TV, a move towards more constructed and manipulated narratives, even as the shows claim to be about finding love or showcasing real life. What other genres does the book explore?
Well, from the world of dating shows, Nussbaum takes us to a show that offered a surprisingly refreshing and positive spin on reality TV. Queer Eye for the Straight Guy.
Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, the show that made us all want a Fab Five makeover.
Exactly. This show was a cultural phenomenon that combined makeover elements with a celebration of LGBTQ plus culture. It was witty, it was heartwarming, and it subverted stereotypes in a way that felt groundbreaking at the time.
It was definitely a show that had a lot of heart. What were some of the key takeaways Nussbaum highlights about Queer Eye?
She emphasizes how the show managed to balance entertainment with social commentary,
Okay.
promoting acceptance and challenging stereotypes while still being incredibly entertaining.
It's interesting how Queer Eye stood out as a beacon of positivity in a genre that was increasingly becoming associated with manipulation and drama.
Mm.
But the book doesn't shy away from the darker side of reality TV, right?
That's right. From the heartwarming world of Queer Eye, Nussbaum takes us to a show that would have a profound impact on our political landscape, The Apprentice, hosted by Donald Trump.
Ah, The Apprentice.
Yeah.
The show that essentially launched Donald Trump's political career. I bet Nussbaum has a lot to say about that.
She does. She explores how The Apprentice played a key role in shaping Trump's public image,
Right.
presenting him as a successful businessman and a decisive leader, even though the show was heavily edited and manipulated to create that narrative.
It's amazing to think about how a reality show could have such a significant impact on our political landscape. But that's the power of reality TV, right? You can shape our perceptions, our values, and even our political beliefs.
Exactly. And The Apprentice is a prime example of how reality TV can be used to construct a narrative, to create a persona, and ultimately to influence the world around us.
This is already such a fascinating journey through the world of reality TV.
Yeah.
And it's only the beginning.
We've only just scratched the surface.
Yeah.
There's so much more to explore in Cue the Sun, from the rise of celebrity to the future of the genre.
Well, I can't wait to dive into the rest of it. This is definitely a book that's making me think about reality TV in a whole new light.
For sure. You know, one thing that struck me about Nussbaum's analysis is how reality TV often acts as a mirror, reflecting our societal anxieties and obsessions.
It's like each era's fears and desires end up playing out on screen.
Exactly. We saw it with those early radio shows capitalizing on economic hardship during the Depression.
Right.
Then there's Queen for a day, playing on those post-war anxieties about domesticity and consumerism.
And it continues through the decades, right? Like Cops and America's Funniest Home Videos emerging during a time of heightened concern about crime and social fragmentation.
Precisely. And then you have The Real World, capturing the anxieties and aspirations of Gen X, a generation grappling with identity relationships and a rapidly changing world.
It's wild how these shows tap into our desire for connection and authenticity, even while presenting a highly constructed version of reality.
That's the paradox, isn't it? And Nussbaum doesn't shy away from exposing the machinery behind the curtain. She reveals those cynical calculations behind casting choices, the editing tricks used to create heroes and villains, and the psychological toll these shows can take on participants.
It's like the book is giving us a backstage pass to the reality TV industry, showing us how the sausage gets made.
And sometimes it's not pretty. Remember that story about The Real World, San Francisco, where producers planted a nude photo book of one cast member to stir up conflict?
Yeah, that was shocking. It really highlights how producers exploit vulnerabilities for the sake of entertainment. It makes you question the ethical boundaries of these shows.
Joe Millionaire is another great example. The producers went to great lengths to deceive both the contestants and the audience.
It really makes you think about the audience's role in all of this. Are we complicit in the deception when we tune in for the drama?
It's a question worth considering. And Nussbaum doesn't stop there. She tackles issues like exploitation racism and the blurring lines between entertainment and politics, especially with shows like The Apprentice.
It feels like The Apprentice was a turning point, not just for reality TV, but for our culture as a whole.
Absolutely. The book examines how the show helped construct Trump's public persona, shaping his image as a successful businessman and a decisive leader.
It's scary to think that a reality show could have such a profound impact on our political landscape.
It highlights the power of reality TV to shape our perceptions and influence our decisions. And it's not just The Apprentice. Nussbaum also discusses the efforts to unionize reality TV workers who often face grueling hours, low pay, and unsafe working conditions.
It's easy to get caught up in the glitz and glamour of reality TV and forget about the people who are working tirelessly behind the scenes.
It's a crucial part of the story that often gets overlooked. These workers are the backbone of the industry, yet they often face exploitation and lack basic protections.
Nussbaum's book really humanizes the industry, reminding us that there are real people behind these shows.
And she does it without losing sight of the entertainment value of reality TV. One thing I appreciated is how she balances sharp criticism with a genuine appreciation for the genre.
It's clear that she's not just a critic, she's also a fan.
Exactly. She gets the appeal, the raw emotion, the unexpected twists, and the glimpse into lives and worlds we might never otherwise encounter. She even talks about her love for the Real Housewives franchise.
It makes her critique feel more balanced and relatable.
Definitely. And she doesn't shy away from asking tough questions about the future of the genre.
Like what happens when the novelty of reality wears off?
Exactly. Or how do we reconcile our desire for authenticity with the inevitability of manipulation? These are questions we as viewers need to grapple with.
It feels like reality TV is at a crossroads. With streaming services and social media, it's no longer confined to network television.
We're constantly bombarded with real lives, real drama, and real people vying for our attention. It's a landscape that's both exciting and overwhelming.
The Bachelor franchise is a perfect example. It's become this massive cultural phenomenon spawning countless spin-offs and social media influencers.
It's fascinating how The Bachelor intersects with celebrity culture, consumerism, and social media. It's become a multi-platform brand that fuels our obsession with romance drama and aspirational lifestyles.
But Nussbaum is critical of the show's manipulation, its retrograde gender roles, and its exploitation of participants' vulnerabilities.
She acknowledges its enduring appeal, but also calls out its problematic aspects. It's this nuanced perspective that makes her analysis so compelling.
So she's not saying don't watch reality TV, but rather watch it with a critical eye.
Exactly. Be aware of the forces at play, the constructed narratives, and the ethical considerations.
It feels like we're in a new era of reality TV, one where the lines between reality and performance are increasingly blurred.
And it's up to us as viewers to navigate this evolving terrain, to be discerning, to ask questions, and to demand more from the genre.
Nussbaum's book has definitely given me a lot to think about. It's not just a history of reality TV, it's a commentary on our culture, our values, and our relationship with media.
It's a must-read for anyone who wants to understand the evolution of reality TV and its impact on our world.
But the book doesn't just focus on the big, well-known shows. It also explores some lesser-known corners of the reality TV universe, right?
Absolutely. Nussbaum delves into the world of celebrity with shows like The Osbournes, Newlyweds, Nick and Jessica, and Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
These shows really blurred the lines between celebrity and ordinariness. It was like we were getting a glimpse into the real lives of famous people.
But, of course, those lives were highly curated and often staged for the cameras.
It's interesting to see how celebrity paved the way for the influencer culture we see today, where anyone with a camera and a social media following can potentially become a star.
It's a complex landscape that offers opportunities for self-expression and entrepreneurship, but it also raises concerns about privacy, authenticity, and the pressure to constantly perform for an online audience.
It's like reality TV has infiltrated every aspect of our lives.
And it's not just about celebrity. Nussbaum also explores the rise of competition shows like American Idol, Project Runway, and Top Chef.
These shows tap into our fascination with talent, ambition, and the pursuit of dreams.
They offer viewers the vicarious thrill of witnessing someone achieve their goals, but they also raise questions about the nature of talent and the role of privilege in success.
It's like they create this narrative where hard work and talent are the only ingredients for success. But we know that's not always the case.
Exactly. And then there are the makeover shows like Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, What Not to Wear, and Extreme Makeover, Home Edition.
These shows tap into our desire for transformation and self-improvement, offering a fantasy of quick fixes and dramatic makeovers.
But they often reinforce societal norms and expectations, particularly when it comes to beauty, fashion, and domesticity.
It's important to be critical of the messages these shows promote. Are they truly empowering, or are they just perpetuating unrealistic standards?
Queer Eye for the Straight Guy was a unique case. It managed to combine makeover tips with heartwarming moments and a celebration of LGBTQ+ culture.
It was a groundbreaking show that challenged stereotypes and promoted acceptance.
It shows that reality TV can be a force for positive change. But let's not forget about the prank shows, from Candid Camera to Jackass to Punk'd.
These shows revel in the unexpected, capturing people's reactions to outrageous situations.
They walk a fine line between humor and cruelty, raising ethical questions about consent and boundaries.
It's interesting to think about why we're drawn to these shows. Is it schadenfreude? A desire to see others squirm? Or something else entirely?
Maybe it's a way of confronting our anxieties about social awkwardness, or perhaps it's just a way to laugh at the absurdity of life.
Whatever the reason, prank shows have become a staple of the reality TV landscape.
And they show no signs of slowing down. From hidden camera pranks to elaborate social experiments, we continue to be fascinated by the unpredictable nature of human behavior.
It seems like reality TV has evolved into this massive genre that encompasses so many different formats and themes.
It's a reflection of our culture, our values, and our relationship with media.
And as Nussbaum argues in Cue the Sun, it's had a profound impact on how we see the world.
It's changed our relationship with authenticity, performance, and storytelling. It's made us more critical viewers, but also more cynical.
So where do we go from here? What does the future hold for reality TV?
That's the million-dollar question. We're already seeing a blurring of genres, a convergence of reality TV with scripted content, social media, and interactive platforms.
Shows like Unreal and Black Mirror are exploring the dark side of reality TV and its impact on our lives.
And streaming services are constantly experimenting with new formats and pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
It's a grave new world for reality TV, full of possibilities and potential pitfalls.
The challenge for creators will be to find new ways to engage audiences, to balance entertainment with ethical considerations, and to navigate the ever-evolving landscape of media consumption.
And as viewers, we have a responsibility to be critical, discerning, and mindful of the impact this genre has on our culture and on ourselves.
We need to ask questions, challenge assumptions, and demand more from the creators and from ourselves.
It's funny how for years, reality TV had this reputation of being lowbrow entertainment, almost a guilty pleasure.
Right.
But now it's a major force influencing everything from scripted television to the way we use social media.
It's fascinating how reality TV has blurred the lines between what we used to think of as high and low culture.
Yeah.
It's infiltrated award shows, inspired documentaries, and scripted series, and even become a path to political power.
You're right. Look at The Office, which was heavily influenced by shows like The Real World and Big Brother.
Exactly.
And then there's The Apprentice, which, as we've discussed, played a huge role in Donald Trump's political career.
Absolutely.
It really highlights how reality TV isn't just entertainment. It's a cultural force shaping how we see the world, the values we hold, and even our political landscape. One of the things Nussbaum argues in Cue the Sun is that reality TV has changed how we view authenticity, performance, and even storytelling itself. What are your thoughts on that?
It's like reality TV has given us this new lens for viewing the world. Think
Yeah.
about how we consume media now. We're constantly bombarded with images and stories, both real and fabricated. Reality TV has trained us to be more skeptical, to question what we see, and to recognize that most narratives are constructed.
It's made us savvier consumers of media, but maybe a bit more cynical too.
That's the double-edged sword of reality TV. It gives us this window into worlds we might never otherwise see, but it also makes us more aware of the manipulation, the exploitation, and the carefully crafted storylines that often exist beneath the surface.
So where do we go from here? What does the future hold for reality TV?
That's a big question, isn't it? I think we're going to see a continued blending of genres, a fusion of reality TV with scripted content, social media, and interactive platforms.
That's already happening. Look at shows like Unreal, which is a scripted drama that takes us behind the scenes of a dating show like The Bachelor.
Right. Or there's Black Mirror, which often satirizes our obsession with technology and surveillance themes that are closely tied to reality TV.
Exactly.
And then there's the rise of streaming services, which are constantly experimenting with new formats and blurring the lines between reality and fiction. It's an exciting time for the genre, but also one with potential pitfalls.
For sure.
It feels like a brave new world for reality TV, full of possibilities, but also challenges.
The challenge for creators is to find new ways to engage audiences while balancing entertainment with ethical considerations.
Yeah.
They need to adapt and evolve as the media landscape continues to change.
And as viewers, we have a responsibility too. We need to be critical, discerning, and mindful of the impact this genre has on our culture and even on ourselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We need to ask questions, challenge assumptions, and demand more from the creators and even from ourselves. Cue the Sun. The Invention of Reality TV by Emily Nussbaum is a must-read for anyone who wants to understand this genre's complex and fascinating history. It's brilliant and thought-provoking. It encourages us to engage with reality TV critically, to understand its power and influence, and to consider its future.
I think it's really going to make you think.
Yeah.
It's a journey through the evolution of a genre that has become deeply ingrained in our culture, and it invites us to reflect on our own relationship with reality TV and the media we consume.
Thanks for joining us. Subscribe to our channel for more bookish adventures and hit that like button if you enjoyed the ride. Don't forget to share the knowledge, and we will see you on the next episode.